Hello. Got another Monday getting started here. So just kind of jumping in, seeing where we're at. This time of year gets very, very hectic, so I have been running around, seems like every day for the last month and a half, 2 months, just non-stop. So I kind of missed all of this action in the morning. I overextended myself yesterday and decided I would take a sleep-in morning. So while I'm kind of disappointed I missed this drop down where we got down just, what was that, about 608.88 looks like. Had a plan in, and it would have worked out great selling a 600 and buy a 595 put spread, but I was just hanging out, taking a morning to myself. So sometimes I miss the good ones, but that would have been a really nice move to get in on. And then typical over the last several weeks, we're getting these end of day sell-offs. Then we kind of find a good little spot to stabilize, and then it gets highly unpredictable going right into the actual close. So I don't know, I'd like to see 625 for the day, but I'm thinking somewhere in the 620, 622 range is probably more likely. There hasn't been quite as many high drama events, seems like, over this past weekend, so a little more relaxing on the overall play. So right now, move my noggin over here, this 605 sell and buy the 600. Man, when I was looking at that earlier, those were in the $1.60 to $1.70 range, and it's dropped all the way down to the $1.10 range. So would have made a fairly easy $50, but I missed out on that one. So looking like now that 60% range is getting up closer to 612 and a half. So let's just tweak a little bit around here. See, we're still under $1.50 for a 610 spread, and I don't know, something about this doesn't instill a lot of confidence in me right now. So I'm really planning to try and wait till Wednesday again and kind of see where we're at. If we're hovering around the same area, I'd be more confident playing 615, but I got a feeling we're going to come back down into that 605 to 610 range that we keep dropping down into. I think a few days last week we actually got down, dropped just a hair under 600, but we recovered fairly quickly and had some pre-market under 600 prices there. And the day before we kept dropping under 6, get over, drop under, get over. Like, glad I was not able to play that one, because I was really looking at the 590 range right then, but kind of totally missed out there. So I don't know, I think if we can stay in these 620s, last Monday we were in the 605, 610 range. It seems like we're coming up and having to fall back down and create a little extra support right now. So, long term, I think it's good to get a more solid base built up and kind of get more confidence in where is the low that will bring in enough buyers to start reversing it back into an upward direction. So the more we can test that level and bounce up from it, seems to make it more likely that we're going to stay above those levels. So like the way I tend to play the market, I really kind of look at it in $5 increments. So as long as we're above a range that I need it to be. You know, I got a $5 wide range that, as long as we're over it, I don't care if we're over it by a penny. If we're over it by $20, $30, that's even better, but just has to be a little bit over. So right now, pretty interested to see if we are going to stay above this 620. So it looks like we got real close to it there a little bit ago, and they're trying to push it back down. So fun times. I'll do that there just to keep that info a little covered. And there comes that end of the day rush. So they're coming into it. I did just notice that Elon put out a message just a few minutes ago. It looked like that they're shooting for about a month to have the AI day. So looking at the dates, I'm kind of wondering if it's going to be within the same week, possibly even on the same day that second quarter earnings are going to come out. So obviously, end of next week, we'll get delivery numbers for the quarter, and that's going to be a big catalyst to watch for. I think this week we'll start seeing people try to start getting into positions that will play out in their favor for whatever they're looking at. Yeah, that 620 level is holding pretty good. Man, let's see, what was that? 605. That's only going for $1.05. See, now if I can get in that 605 for, say, $1.35, I'd totally take that. But I don't want to risk that much. So we're just going to throw a little order out there, see if we can possibly get lucky. It only amount to a couple $100, and I really don't think this will get filled, but kind of want to do a test and see what happens. So there's been get my head out of the way. Sometimes this is interesting data to look at. Overall today, 1.1 million contracts have been traded. And it looks like it's still more favoring on the call side, 587,000 versus 527 on the put side. So those are good things to keep an eye on. Sometimes when you see a overbalance one side or the other, you can kind of get an idea of what the bigger option players are trying to put into position. So it looks like right now the 620 put and call is like way up there, 19,700 puts and 54,400 calls. Yeah, that 620 level, that's going to be the one to watch this week. And see, they're estimating to get this order filled, we'd have to come down under 615, under 614. I really think if we dropped real fast down to in the mid 617s, it might get filled, just because if it drops real fast, volatility will go up and that'll boost the premium a little. Sometimes that's the easier way to get into a trade, especially on smaller contract sizes. So it's all about lucky timing. Like this big drop in the morning, those couple of minutes, you'd have been able to get filled like at a 600 or 595 put spread and got a decently good amount of premium out of it. But totally missed that one. Had a long day yesterday, and ended up not getting home and eating dinner till like 11:30, and yeah, that threw me all out of whack. Hopefully I'll be able to get enough rest tonight and wake up on time to get to work. I do not do so good in the mornings. Man, they're pushing on it hard. Looks like both directions right here. They're trying to get it down to 620. Man. Oh, it's getting close. They might get it. So, I did get a chance to catch up on a few videos from the Austin factory. Looks like they're really coming along there. I'm thinking my personal estimate of them trying to start producing vehicles by the end of summer, maybe October at the later side. I think they could start pumping out Model Ys definitely before the end of the year. I mean, that would be impressive for humongous factory built in the United States with all the regulations and everything that have to go into any project of that size. I couldn't imagine what they'd have to go through for that. So it's going to be a highly impressive facility when it's done. I'm really still crossing my fingers and hoping for Cybertrucks to start getting built by the end of the year. Hopefully, if they do that by this time next year, my number will come up and I will be able to finally get my truck. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to make my truck last at least one more winter. I'm just hoping I don't have to push it through another summer. Like, it really starts showing its age in the summer. But the air conditioner still works, so we're gonna just keep rocking it. Man, they're not able to get it down to 620. That is actually pretty impressive that there's enough people coming in to hold it up. So if we can hold that through to the end of the day, 620 may be the next mark that, you know, puts in a good little support. And there goes a good push up. I really doubt we'll get up to 625 for the close. We've got right at 5 minutes left, so they are trying to make it happen, but whew, interesting. Let's just see, just for the sake of curiosity, what is that right at the money? Wow, so selling a 620 and buying a 615, which is right at the money right now, only going for 215. So usually, especially when Tesla's kind of more trending downward, that would be in the 250 to 270 range. I bet to get more than half of your risk. Yeah, so you'd have to go squarely in the money, selling a 625 that's in the money, and then buying a 620 that's just barely out of the money right now to get over half. I call that one the 50-50. If you can get over 250 out of a contract on a $5 wide spread, then your risk is the same as what you could make. So in this case it's at 260, so you can make $260 or lose $240. So the risk is much better on the income side. Like, you would make more, but you're also taking a much higher risk that Tesla would have to get above 625 by Friday and close it out, or have a big run and then you buy the contract back, you know, $1.50, something like that within a few days. So there's always lots of options in options, but for me that would be too high of a risk. And see, even taking a $10 wide strike there, sell a 615, buy a 605, you get $300, $315 per contract, but you'd be risking what, 685? Huh. You know, you're risking twice as much as you stand to make. That's where it gets harder to take that much risk this early in the week. So closing it up so it's only a $5 wide spread gets you to a 175 credit, but then you'd be possibly losing, whoops, I can't even do that math in my head right now. Yeah, 325. So you're still taking the risk to lose more, but you're further away from where the price is right now. So you're in a situation of likely to win is more in your favor, but you're going to be winning a smaller dollar amount. So right now I'm trying to tweak my strategy a bit so that I can try and not take, you know, a fewer amount of trades for a larger win, and try to get it so I can have more trades out there for each of them worth a smaller amount, but they're in a position where the likelihood that I will win will be much higher. So over time that'll build up much better than taking a higher risk for a higher dollar amount, but then you're more likely to have something go against you and lose in those situations. So either way, it's always a good bit of a risk, but understanding what is going on and how you can try to limit that is always the best. So another reason I've switched over to really waiting until Wednesdays and Thursdays to put in a good trade. So definitely going to be watching this for the rest of the week. I think if we hold over 620 right now, which is looking pretty good, we got 12 seconds left, so it's coming along. But we make it up in the 630s to 640s by the end of the week. It's entirely possible, as long as nothing super haywire happens in the news, which that's the hardest thing to plan for, is what's going to happen next. Especially with a stock like Tesla, there's just so many people that are fully for it or fully against it that anything causes drastic change. So looks like overall we finished down $2 for the day. Interesting, at least compared to Friday. So, you know, from last Monday we're still up, what, about $10? I can't remember where we closed last Monday, but it was setting us up just over 600. Now we're, you know, getting up into the 620s. Next we'll be back up in the 630s and 640s. So it's building up, but who knows? Now we're going to have a after close runoff. Always something happening here. So good times. I've got a bunch of housework that needs to get done today. So finally got all the siding replaced around my house, got it painted. I think when they rewired up a exterior plug, something is off there, so I've got like my bathroom plug stopped working, and this exterior plug doesn't seem to be working. So I got to do some investigating, see if I can figure out what's going on here, and see if I can fix that, and then get Nest doorbell installed, see if I can figure that mess out. Then if we got time, run back out to my dad's and see how much rain we got. Possibly going to be doing a little more cleanup out there, And I keep getting rained out on Sundays and Mondays, but got a good bit of work done yesterday. Got some fun targets set up and a little more weed killing. Got to spray some Roundup, and it's coming along. So little by little, we're getting there. I'm still trying to think of something really cool to do for the July 4th, but we'll see what happens there. So either way, always something in the works. So we'll get there. But I'm gonna bounce, get on to my next project. So thank y'all, anybody, for hanging out, and we'll be back here next Monday. Thank you. Goodbye.